Starting with some big developments coming in from Delhi, where the Enforcement Directorate has produced Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal before a special court. Kejriwal is accused of being the kingpin of the alleged multi-million-dollar excise policy scam. Now, his wife Sunita Kejriwal is accompanying him in the court, where the Chief Minister is expected to make some big revelations about the alleged scam and the money trail.
LG साहब कह रहे हैं LG साहब कह रहे हैं
The Delhi Chief Minister was arrested on March 21st by the Central Agency in connection with the alleged Delhi excise policy scam case. The very next day, a special court sent Kejriwal to ED's custody for 6 days till March 28th, that is today. The Enforcement Director is expected to ask the court to extend Kejriwal's custody. In a separate but related development, the Delhi High Court has quashed a public interest litigation seeking Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's removal. The court said there is no scope of judicial interference in the matter, adding that it is an executive decision. The petitioner wanted Kejriwal to be removed from his post following his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate. The central agency has accused Kejriwal of being the key conspirator of the alleged multi-million-dollar scam. The Delhi Chief Minister and his Aam Aadmi Party has called the arrest illegal and politically motivated. Kejriwal challenged the arrest in Delhi High Court, and on Wednesday, the High Court refused to provide interim relief to Kejriwal in the matter, which is now listed for April 3rd. Now, to get us a sense of what's happening on the ground, we are being joined by our correspondent Dharamjot Kaur. She is outside the court where the plea against Arvind Kejriwal's arrest is being heard. Also, to give us perspective, Vikas Singh is joining us live, a senior advocate and former additional Solicitor General of India. Welcome to the broadcast, both of you. Dharamjot, if I could start with you, what is the latest you're hearing from the Rouse Court?
Well, Ananya, just a few minutes back, we saw the Delhi Chief Minister entering the court premises, and his trial is also begun just moments ago. As we've been discussing since morning, the Directorate is going to try and get extension on keeping custody for the Delhi Chief Minister to continue its investigation and interrogation into the alleged scam that is being talked about and making headlines. Now, it's been said that the ED might ask for, as per the remand letter that they've submitted, they will ask for about an extension in the for over 7 days. But how that plays out in terms of the bench's ruling a few hours from now, that remains to be seen. And all this, of course, is happening in the hindsight, where the Central Bureau of Investigation is also in line to get custody of the Delhi Chief Minister and continue their separate investigation into the same. So at the moment, a lot of courtroom drama expected. As we saw, Sunita Kejriwal, the wife of the Delhi Chief Minister, also accompanied him. And all eyes are currently on how this plays out for the Delhi Chief Minister. For how many days will he now stay in remand? And what course does this investigation take? Ananya?
Right, Dharamjot. Mr. Singh, bring in your legal expertise here. What does the law say? Can a sitting Chief Minister operate his or her government from within the jail premises?
Well, as far as the law is concerned, there is no legal bar specified in the Constitution or elsewhere on this issue. But there are a lot of norms, which are to be followed in matters of this kind. So you'll be aware that, like, for instance, in Britain, there is no written constitution. It is all by convention. And as far as convention is concerned, according to me, he should resign, firstly. And the only way he could have continued as Chief Minister was if he had made an application to the trial court asking for special privileges to function as a Chief Minister, which would include having meetings inside the jail and, passing orders and getting his files sent to him, etc. And because otherwise, the moment a person is incarcerated, he has to follow the prison manual. And the prison manual has its own set of rules which apply for every prisoner. So if he really wanted to do it constitutionally, even though that would also not have been a very, very appropriate thing to do, He could have done so only if he had asked for such kind of a permission. And then we would not have a situation where, ED would be running to court and saying that how did this paper come to him and how did he pass this order, etc. Because it's very unfortunate that according to me, again, a very constitutionally very, I would say, sad state of affairs that a chief minister is passing an order from jail and the ED is questioning how did he get the paper on which he passed that order when there is no paper given to him officially. So the only way he could have done it was by a proper permission by the court, saying that because of this circumstance. But ideally, even that would not be the right course constitutionally, because the right course should be to resign morally and appoint somebody else as chief minister.
All right, Dharamjot, if you could lay out the two scenarios that could happen from this point on, what happens if the ED gets an extension of Kejriwal's custody and what happens if not?
Well, Ananya, as far as the courtroom proceedings today are concerned, one of the two scenarios that will play out is one, as I already mentioned, the Enforcement Directorate is looking at a 7-day extension in retaining custody of the Delhi Chief Minister. This, of course, comes in light of them carrying on the investigation and interrogation of Arvind Kejriwal. It remains to be seen if the court will extension or will it grant an extension for a lesser number of days if at all they choose to go that route. Should that not happen, it will still not be a complete legal win or relief for the Delhi Chief Minister, because as I mentioned, the Central Bureau of Investigation is also in line to seek remand out their own investigation that they have been doing for the last couple of years. Having said that, in terms of Arvind Kejriwal's chief ministerial position, that seems to be safe for the moment. As we discussed earlier before, that the Delhi High Court had dismissed the PIL, which was asking for Arvind Kejriwal to be removed from his CM position. Of course, the court went on to say that this is not in the scope of their judicial purview and that it's an executive decision that will be taken by the Lieutenant Governor, followed by a president's decision on the matter. But complicated, the case still remains complicated for Arvind Kejriwal because it's not a agency but two separate investigative agencies that are seeking his custody as far as the alleged liquor scam is concerned. Ananya?
Right. Mr. Singh, as my correspondent rightly pointed out, the position of Chief Minister for Arvind Kejriwal seems to be safe at the moment. Let's bridge that with what you said, that you strongly feel that Mr. Kejriwal should resign at the moment. How much power does the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has amid all of this?
Well, according to me, he has no power to dismiss a chief minister if he wants to continue like this. So that would be exercising a power of, a constitutional breakdown, which will really amount to a president's rule. But having said that, I personally feel that this is not a case where Kejriwal's custody should be continued at all, because ultimately, under the Indian Constitution, one of the fundamental rights is of right to silence. And invariably, all the prosecution agencies claim that the person accused is not cooperating. When you say not cooperating, means that you are not wanting to divulge information which will ultimately implicate you in the crime. And that is a fundamental right. So I don't understand how can you be compelled to answer questions if you feel that answering that question may implicate you in any manner. So according to me, neither the ED nor the CBI, I mean, the only cases where you should not grant bail is cases where, there is a flight risk or there is somebody likely to, seriously tamper. Here, all the evidence is all document-based, mostly document-based, or they must be having recorded conversation. So I don't understand why somebody should not be released on bail in a case like this. And bail should be the rule and jail should be the exception in this case. So according to me, Lieutenant Governor has no power independent of him, apart from imposing president's rule to remove a sitting chief minister because he wants to continue to function from the jail.
All right, Mr. Singh and my correspondent Dharamjot, thank you both of us for getting us all those updates.